what is Wheel of Time to you, and how should we, the viewer, be perceiving this series?
That's a really wonderful question, honestly. So the Wheel of Time, there are a lot of themes that exist in the books, and that I think we've done a really good job of bringing to the forefront in the series as well. What I really like are the themes of duality and balance and equality, and it really kind of focuses on the fact that we all, at the end of the day, need each other. You know, women, men, any gender, we all need each other to survive and evolve. And I think some people, you know, it's quite easy to maybe misunderstand what it's saying, but there are a lot of really beautiful layers to this work. And I think at the end of the day, it does focus on the fact that, you know, we're all humans, and we can only enjoy this life and enjoy this world if we treat each other with respect and love.
It was really well done. I read all of the Game of Thrones books before watching the series, but I had been reading it all along. Wheel of Time is something that I'm just now leaning into, but this is incredibly well done. And how much time? Okay, so take us back, Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you auditioned for this. You get the script. Is this the role that you wanted?
Yes, but in hindsight. So what happened was that I actually got the audition, I would say either June or July of 2019. And I was in New Zealand, so I had to put down a self-tape with my agent. So we basically just filmed it and sent it off. I had the option of auditioning for Nynaeve and Egwene, the two young women from the Two Rivers. And I connected to Egwene more, but I think it's because Nynaeve, the character who I ended up playing, terrified me. I think she scared me. Her boldness, her confidence, her self-assuredness. I don't believe I was, you know, in that headspace at that time as Zoe. So I think when I looked at that character, I was like, I don't know, I don't even know how I would attempt to get there when I don't necessarily believe I have those qualities. But obviously, Rafe, our amazing showrunner, Rafe Judkins, he saw something in me, and I'm forever grateful that I got Nynaeve, because I found as time goes on, I'm much more like her than I knew. There's a lot of similarities between her and I.
And watching it, I couldn't see you playing the other character who you tossed into the river to die. I couldn't see. There's a timidness to her that I don't see in you, in the character that you're playing now. But so 2019, you audition. 2020, something happens. There's a pandemic. How many had you already started production and then had to shut down?
Yeah, it all happened very quickly. So I auditioned back in July, I think it was, or June or July, and heard back relatively quickly. And then within a few weeks, I was in Prague. So we started August 2019, started filming end of September. So by the time we shut down in March 2020, we had finished 6 episodes. Oh. So our series is 8 episodes. So we had 2 left. And obviously, just with how uncertain everything was at that time, we really thought we were done. Like, we thought either Amazon would scrap the show, or that they would maybe release all 6 episodes and call it a season. So we're so lucky to have Amazon's backing, to be honest, because, you know, there are a lot of production companies and studios that were cutting shows. It was too much of a risk. There was so much unknown, and I think Amazon has really believed in this work from the beginning. So that's been such a validation for us.
So March, you shut down. When did you go back for the final 2?
We came back in October last year. Then we shut down again because we're filming in Prague, and they got hit by COVID very badly. So we got shut down again, and we had 6 weeks left. So we did like a season 1 take 3 attempt in I think it was March this year. Oh wow. So we just finished this season like a few months ago.
Now I'm imagining it's been greenlit for season 2. I can't imagine it not getting another season. And guys, think Game of Thrones, like there's characters you fall in love with immediately. There's like death immediately. Like, oh, I like this. Oh, they're gone. Okay. That was, it's epic. It's epic. It's big budget. There's mystical creatures and all kinds of darkness and weird things going on, or not weird. So have you seen all 8 episodes? Have you been able to sit with it? And when you look back, do you do it with other people, or is it something that you do by yourself?
I've seen 5 so far, so I haven't seen the full season. We did a really special cast screening about a month ago with our showrunner and another producer, Justine Gilmer, and the cast, the main cast, so us 6 of us. And that was really nice to just see it by ourselves, in our kind of comfort zone with each other. Because since then we've had 2 big screenings, one at the premiere last week and another cast and crew screening. So it was a nice kind of, it was a nice buffer before seeing our faces huge on screens with a lot of people. So I don't know, I'm still trying to work that out. Since it's been released, I've watched it by myself. I find that I'm really critical of everything that I do. Like, I look back and I cringe at all of my choices. So I think it's probably better for me to watch it with people so I can enjoy it better.
So what do you do for fun? Like when you're not acting and being other people?
I watch a lot of stuff too to get inspiration. I find that helps. I think actually a lot of my time usually is spent on FaceTime with loved ones. I mean, I have a son back home in New Zealand, so I spend a lot of my day on the phone with him and with friends, and I get my energy off being around people and connecting.
We're talking with Zoe Robbins. She is, I can't pronounce the name of the character she plays in Wheel of Time. I'm just gonna call her N, because that's, all right, pronounce it. Nynaeve. I could do that. Nynaeve.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she is a powerhouse in Wheel of Time, and I'm really, really loving this series. As I mentioned, tomorrow in my top 5, I'm giving you a little preview. This is going to be on it. What's in your top 5 of things that you're watching right now?
Oh, great question. I'm halfway through Sex Education.
Okay, that's
on
good.
Netflix. Yeah. What did I just watch? I just watched The Lighthouse actually a couple of days ago with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. It's a very abstract horror movie, which is I needed subtitles definitely, but I found it really cool and compelling. But I'd say I find Sex Education to be really helpful for me when I'm doing some emotionally or physically draining scenes. It's nice and light. I feel like it perks me back up.
And not light at the same time. And Eric is my dad. He's my spirit animal most days. I absolutely love the story arc of that character. Very well done too. And I think you can learn some things, those teenagers and people out there. You have a son. How old is he?
He's 10. He just turned 10.
Oh, okay. And her face lights up when she mentions it. So how do you navigate being in Prague and where are you now in the world? Are you
I am in Prague still. Yeah. So we're halfway through filming season 2. I made the decision when I first got the role that it was best for him and I that he stayed back in New Zealand, and I got acclimatized to this world over here because I'd never lived in Europe. I hadn't been to Prague. I couldn't really fathom bringing a child over here at the same time as, jumping headfirst into this adventure. And I think ultimately that was the best decision because he's well looked after and loved, and he's with my mum, and he's so happy at home. So that means that I can do my job well, you know what I mean? But obviously COVID, the pandemic changed a lot of that. So initially when I had time off, I would go back home to New Zealand or he would come here. now when we started season 2, which was in July, so I left New Zealand in July this year, I said goodbye until Christmas time, you know. So there's a lot of sacrifices that actors have to make, and specifically in this time now with COVID. I mean, I haven't been able to get home since I left.
Wow.
But it's, you know, a lot of FaceTime, like I said, and yeah.
What has been the biggest life altering change? And I'm gonna imagine, like, I'm gonna say you're super successful, right? I'm gonna say it. I feel like you are, right? In this series, has this been life-changing money, life-changing attention? Has this been life-changing for you, Zoe?
You know, I think so. When I compare my life to where I was prior to auditioning for this role, I mean, for the very first time, I was really considering stopping for a bit. I was auditioning so much, sometimes 3 times a day. So that would equate to sometimes 5, 6, 7 auditions a week. And auditions don't pay, you know what I mean? It's, you know, you're getting a script and you're learning it and you're putting it down on tape and then you're sending it off, and then most of the time you don't hear back. So there was a point in time when I was having, you know, quite serious conversations with my mum, who's my biggest supporter, but she was, you know, out of a place of love and concern. She was saying, kind of, how long are you gonna do this for? Because I had devoted a huge chunk of my 20s to this, and you know, there's some amazing, talented artists and creatives in New Zealand, but there's just not enough work. So to have something like this come about for me is I'm definitely aware that it's a rarity. A lot of my friends haven't worked for, you know, 2 years almost since COVID. So this has definitely changed my life in terms of it being a consistent job that I've had, and a job that I love. You know, that's also something that's a rarity with actors too, because oftentimes we kind of take jobs just to have a job because you know, the jobs are limited.
When I got the list, because we get a list of who we could talk to, and I saw you were on it, I was like, abso-freaking-lutely. Because, you know, what you just said warmed my heart. You know, I was talking to Carl Clemens, who's on Hacks, and he was saying that he was about to quit, and he got the script, and he was like, oh, all right, I'll do one more audition. He was like, you know, he's living very, you know, modestly. He's about to go back into the workplace and just forget about acting, and then he gets Hacks. And then you tell me this story, and I feel like, you know, that just warmed my heart, because we are all put here to do something. And when we are finally doing the thing that makes our soul sing,
yeah,
and get paid enough to be able to live a life, that's everything. So
yeah.
I'm so happy for you, Zoe.
Oh, thank you.
Couldn't happen to a nicer person. I just met you, but this is your role, and I'm looking forward to what's next, because I was like, why haven't I seen this woman before? Why is there a Wikipedia page where, you know, I'm looking for you in different places, and it's like, more. We need more Zoe Robbins. We need more. So I'm glad we got a season 2. You just she told us that, y'all. We get season 2 for sure.